It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Hiram College assistant volleyball coach, Coach Holly Hoffman. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching in college volleyball?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so growing up, my mom has been a head coach at a local high school, at Crestwood High School, for many years. And so when I grew up, I'm a June baby. So it's the month of June, so that's awesome. But I have pictures of me in like the ball carts when I was just a little thing. So I've grown up around this sport my entire life. She's been a coach, volleyball, basketball, softball, so those were the sports that we really were drawn to. And so that was really super cool, kind of going through life and loving volleyball. And then, just pieces kind of fell together. I always had an idea that I'd like to coach. I didn't know what level. I knew I loved volleyball, but the pieces just kind of fell together, and that allowed me to be a collegiate coach, and I absolutely love it. It's great.
What was that experience like for you going to Hiram College and getting to play collegiate volleyball?
Yeah, so out of high school, I wasn't very great in terms of doing a college search. So I looked at Hiram when I was a senior. My mom actually had also attended Hiram. But I looked at it, and for me, financially, it was better to go to Tri-C for my first 2 years and then get over to Hiram. So that was really cool. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought too. Can you repeat the question again?
What was that experience like for you getting to play collegiate
Thank you.
volleyball at Hiram?
Yeah, so a little bit untraditional. So I started at Tri-C and then I transferred over to Hiram. And it was great. I loved it. The transfer process was very smooth. And then, it was crazy at Hiram. I had four different coaches. I had four different coaches throughout my whole 4 years of college volleyball. At Hiram, I had three. So we started off with Lainey Scott, who was our coach for the fall, which my incoming junior year. So I had her. And then we had Mark, who came in for our spring season. And then Kyle Mars, who was there for my senior year. So a little crazy, but all in all, it was great. So it was a good experience.
For you, what was that feeling like putting on that jersey and representing them?
Great. I love first and foremost, I love the colors. I don't know if I could go to a place with some rough colors. So it was really cool. And then my senior year, I was able to get my number, which is 4. So that was just, the icing on the cake to the end of a collegiate career. So it was great. I love playing. So anytime I can toss on a jersey and get to play, it was awesome.
Throughout your time, what were some of your biggest accomplishments as a player?
Ooh, okay. So when I went to Tri-C for my first 2 years, the second year I ended up tearing my ACL. So recovering from that, I was cleared to play that next year. So when I transferred to Hiram, I was cleared to play real late in July. And we started our season in August. So I didn't have a lot of recovery. So that year, wasn't my best physically. But I was able to kind of, get through that year and then spend that whole off season training, rehabbing, strengthening for that senior season. And then, accomplishments. I mean, that's just a little bit of the work I put in on the offside. But I mean, working with the team, we ended up making it to the conference final against Wittenberg, and that was absolutely awesome. So I mean, individual accolades, like, cool, but for the team, we started off that my senior year with 10 wins, and that was great for our program. And then yeah, just continuing to build a good program and keep that going. So yeah, great accomplishments throughout that.
After your college time, what was it like getting into coaching on the club level and going to DCG Warriors?
Yeah, so I actually started that a little bit as I was a current student athlete. And so I was maybe a little bit older than 18, and I was coaching 15-year-olds, which was great. I also ended up coaching my younger sister, who now plays at Hiram, so that's really super cool. But it was a very easy transition into it, and especially after graduating from Hiram. Our current head coach right now, she is an alum from Hiram, also from Crestwood, which is both of our alma maters, and I've known her forever. So it was a very, very smooth transition going from playing to coaching. The personnel and the familiarity was definitely, it's a lot about who you know, which is great. So that helped a lot. So
For you, what was that feeling like coming back home and getting to coach as a grad assistant first?
yeah, absolutely. I am a homebody, so I really haven't left and gone anywhere. So it's really nice staying around home. You know, I grew up big family girl. I'm the second of four girls, and you know we have a big family that lives within minutes from our house, walking distance from our house. So having the support of family that is close by is really awesome. And then again, like I said, the support of just the people around here is great. I love it. So I don't know how that would be if I was in a different place, how I would feel, but it's very comfortable. I would say that, and I love it. So.
Of course, for you, how is it like getting to coach both the men's side of volleyball versus the women's side of volleyball?
Ooh, good question. I love it. Uh, I love being able to see the differences in both the men's and the women's game. You know, volleyball is volleyball, but there's some differences with the games. I also like learning from two different head coaches, which is great. And yeah, just the guys and the girls, you know, it's great to see you know, like I said, there's some differences, but there's a lot of similarities. So it's really, really cool to see kind of both sides. And it's a cool dynamic in the sense of like how the seasons are separated, because women's is in the fall, men's is in the spring. So it's nice to have, it's not all in one season, which is really good. So you get a little bit of a break in between then. So I really like that balance. Yeah.
What is that like balancing being a coach for both the women and the men's side?
Yeah. Like I said, the structure of where they're at seasons wise is really nice. And then also too, you know, I'm an admission counselor here at Hiram. So most of my day to day is here in the office, and then I get to spend my afternoons and everything in the gym, which is great. I wouldn't have it any other way, but it is a balance, and I do give a lot of credit to our head coaches, both the men's and the women's side. They have been absolutely awesome with helping or just, you know, being flexible with my schedule and everything, and understanding like I can be there when I can. I try to make every game and practice, but you know, the day-to-day stuff of like laundry and all the extra recruiting and whatnot, you know, that is a little bit of a challenge, but that's why we have another GA as well on the women's side. And then on the men's side, Glenn Conley, who is now retired, he has done an excellent job with helping with that flexibility. So it's been great.
For you, what was that feeling like getting to step back onto that volleyball court that you played on, but now as a coach?
Yeah. Honestly, it was like I never left because I didn't. It's great. It's different. I will say, like, I love playing volleyball. Any chance that I get that I can play, I want to, and I love it. And so the coaching is a little bit of a transition in that, you know. And yeah, it's a little bit challenging too, because you know, as a player, you get all that inside chat, that on the court chat, that as a coach you can't hear, you're not a part of. So that's been a little bit of an adjustment, but all in all, it's been great. And I mean, the next best step of playing is coaching, so I've really enjoyed it.
Of course, as an alma mater, what is it like getting to coach on the female side and getting to coach those teammates that you played with and your sister?
Yeah, that's a great question. I absolutely love it. So when I transferred in, I was a junior and I came in with a good group of freshmen. And so, I was there with them for their first 2 years as an athlete, as a teammate, and then there for their last 2 years as their coach. And I think that just being able to see their growth and development, it was awesome. It's a little challenging because you're playing with them one day and then coaching them the next, but I feel like nothing really changed because as I came in as a transfer, we already had incredible respect for each other, and so I think that helped out a lot. I think we did a very good job even from the get-go of give and take and that kind of dynamic. So that was really awesome. And then just seeing them grow and develop has been awesome. I'm just like so happy. I'm just I just love them so much. Such a good group, especially that core group that I came in with. And then coaching my sister, I feel like I've been doing that most of my life. So again, we have a really respectful relationship when it comes to, I mean, in general, but then especially when it comes to sports. We're not the kind of siblings that will like bicker at each other. We really kind of understand, we want to win, we want to get the best out of everybody. And so this is kind of the way that we do it. So everything has been real smooth, which is good.
As a coach so far, what have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish?
As a coach, well, biggest highlight for our men's season, we won our conference tournament this year, which was awesome. Made it to the NCAA tournament, so I hope that we can continue that. That honestly has been incredible. The men's group was just awesome. Their determination and just seeing their growth. Like, honestly, I think that's one of the biggest accomplishments as a coach. Wins are great, but seeing players develop and grow and really get to that and seeing them accomplish their goals has been absolutely awesome.
Of course, on the women's side, what have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish?
Yeah, on the women's side. So like I said, getting back to the conference championship has been great. I think handling adversity is been awesome. Anytime students get recognition throughout the year, I'm just super excited for them. The work that they've put in has been awesome. And then if we get to showcase that, then that's even better. But nothing specific, I don't think, really stands out to me. It's just like I said, the continual growth and especially like if you drop a set to a team and you come back and you win, or you lose a match to a team and you come back and get a win, those have been great. So there's been a lot kind of throughout the years that have been a little bit different, but it's been good.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against each week?
Yeah, okay. So in our conference, so we're in the North Coast Athletic Conference. And then this next year will be our last year in that, and then we will go to the PAC conference. But in the NCAC, Wittenberg, Denison, DePaul, Ohio Wesleyan, Kenyon, Oberlin, Worcester. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Allegheny used to be in our conference, but now they're in the PAC. So we will soon be joining them back. But really good competition. Like Wittenberg has some national championships. DePaul ended up DePaul ended up hosting our conference championship, or the outright regular seasons a year before Denison was in that position. But Wittenberg has done a very good job at staying at the top, winning the conference tournament, making it to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, very tough competition, but really good competition. Kenyon, did I say Kenyon? Maybe I missed that one, but yeah, some good teams.
What is that home game atmosphere like when teams like Wittenberg's come to home versus going to Wittenberg and DePaul?
Yeah. So, it's a little tricky with our conference just because I feel like we're so spaced out geographically. So it depends on, when the game is, whether it's a weekday or a weekend. Wittenberg, we typically play on a weekend. And really, it depends on what all else is going on campus. We're a Division 3 school. So there's a lot going on campus. So if there's not men's or women's soccer game, if there's not a football game, we normally have a good showing. Our roster is pretty local, so we have a lot of family support, a lot of community support with that. But yeah, it's a good atmosphere, super positive, super encouraging, and we love fans in the stands. So
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've started to help to build for the volleyball program, both on the men's side and the women's side?
yeah, so I think on the women's side, it's a lot, well, I guess both. It's a lot of development. We're trying to get the best out of our student athletes. On the women's side, we prioritize a little bit more like attitude and effort when it comes to our players and their character and what they give every day. Those are a little bit more of the priorities. On the men's side, it's pretty similar. We're again pushing them mentally, physically to be the best that they can. Yeah, I think the culture, we want to win, but also at the end of the day, we want students, again, we're Division 3, so we really want to balance that student athlete experience. So not only do we want them to be great athletes, but we also want them to be excellent students, and we want them to be well-rounded and do things within their community, within Hiram, join clubs, be the president of those clubs, and really kind of make a difference. So I think culturally we want student athletes who are going to work their butts off in the gym and then also do that outside, and try to, create an environment where it's okay to fail, and just be the support that they need for that. So I think that maybe answers the question.
What does the recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to play collegiate volleyball? And as a coach, what do you look at in those prospective student athletes?
Yeah, so obviously, some type of skill level depending on, what we need, what positions we're looking for that year. But in general, we need good character for our student athletes on both sides, men's and women's side. So good character. I love a multi-sport athlete, so I am totally good with that. You don't have to be, designated just as a volleyball player. Again, I went through all 3 sports in high school, so I loved it and it was great. And I think that's a great transition. So a little bit of flexibility, adaptability, and yeah, we're just looking for student athletes who, want to learn, want to improve, and want to win. And because yeah, we want to strive to win as well. But the recruiting process itself, typically, we'll get out and check out some high school games. We'll look at some club games as well. JO, wherever you're at in the United States, depends on, what you call that. But we'll look at that. Typically we'll get them on campus for a visit. And normally when they get on campus, they're like, oh, I didn't realize, it was this pretty, or, I don't know if they keep low expectations when they come on visits, but people really seem to enjoy their visits when they get on campus. So that's kind of our main goal, is just to get students on campus and see, like, hey, is this a school that you'd be interested in? So the recruiting process, we don't really host tryouts. So we'll actively get out and recruit student athletes throughout the year, and try to hit our number and make sure that we have a team fully developed with those student athletes in positions that we need. So yeah, recruiting process, we've had students send us film. We're on recruiting websites as well. So however we can see student athletes, we're going to help them get through the process.
As a coach in alma mater, What is it like seeing those players fall in love with the campus and the volleyball facilities?
Oh, I love it. I don't know if there are words entirely to describe it. It's just a great feeling. Knowing that people love and care for a place and a program as much as you do, it's just great. And that's how programs are built. And it's not for everyone. There are places out there that um, aren't for everyone. People might come here and be like, oh, this is definitely not for me, but those that do, it's really awesome to see how much they cherish these opportunities, specifically here. So it's great. It's an awesome feeling.
As a coach and alma mater, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that Harlem College volleyball uniform for the first time?
Yeah, it is exciting. It is it's exciting to see them put on the jersey, the excitement, and also a little nervousness. It's fun. I just want to be there as a support as much as they need it, because I know they're going to need it. They're going to have a lot of struggles. I have been there. Many coaches have been there. And I just really like it, just adds a little bit more of like, I want to help them and kind of I don't want to be like a mama bear and like protect them, but I also I just want to take care of them as much as I can. So any questions that they have, I want to help them out with. I see it as like a blank slate and with a lot of nerves, and I just want to help ease that and create an environment and a safe place for them to enjoy the school and volleyball as well. So
What is it like getting to see them achieve those first milestones in their volleyball career as a collegiate athlete?
it's awesome. It's what we're here for. To see the work that they put in and then the hard work pay off, you can't ask for anything better. I mean, that's kind of what they do it for. I mean, and again, you want those team accolades, but they have to push themselves individually as well as together. But a lot of the work they have to do. Each individual has to do their own work in order to help contribute to the team. So when it pays off for them as an individual, I think it's just awesome. It's great reassurance for them and great motivation to keep going. And then, as a team, you see people get individual accolades. They're like, oh, I could get 1,000 digs, or I can get a thousand assists, so I think it's good. And like in the gym, there's nice little saying, iron sharpens iron. So if everybody's pushing each other to kind of get better and do better, then ultimately we're going to be a better program.
What is it like getting to see those seniors put on that uniform for the last time?
Oh man. Well, again, I'm gonna go back to the group that I came in with. Um, and that was like sad. It was very sad. They came in and their last year was 2020 when COVID hit. So unfortunately they didn't get to finish out their last season. So that was incredibly sad. But we tried to take care of them as much as we could. We boxed up their jerseys, and it was bittersweet, but couldn't be more proud. Yeah, I mean, sad for that group that they weren't able to actually hit that with all that they've put in and all that I was there with them for. But for those continuing on after that, just so proud. Especially the ones who had made it the whole 4 years. It's just been great, and you can just see the maturity and the growth that they've had. So yeah, it's a very proud feeling.
Of course, what are some of your future plans for the program moving forward?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me specifically, I am going to try my best in helping out our head coaches as much as I can. Like I said, this is going to be for the women's, this is going to be our last year in the NCAC conference. So we want to go out as strong as we possibly can, make conference tournament, make that championship game, hopefully win that championship game. That is within our reach, in my opinion. We just got to get to work on it. And then moving forward with that, getting into the PAC conference, winning it. Your goal is, as a coach, is to win. And then for student athletes, seeing them walk across the stage. And then for the men's team, we're coming off of an excellent season. And yeah, just repeat, and make it a standard to get to the NCAA tournament. So, yeah.
What advice would you give those players out there looking to get started in playing in college volleyball?
Ooh. I think my first piece of advice is it's doable. Whether that is Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, junior college, community college, it is possible. I think my advice for student athletes would be to kind of figure out what they want. Being an admission counselor, that kind of side of me comes out, because it's like, you need to find a school that fits you if volleyball is not an option. But, for those who are striving to play volleyball, know kind of what you want in a program. Especially when it comes to position. Like if your heart is set on being a middle, go to a place that's going to have you as a middle. If you don't want to adjust, then go to a place that will have you in that position. But to the other side of that, be flexible, be adaptable. If you want to play, you might as well work on all of those skills to increase your time to play. There could be someone comes in that's a better setter than you, and you have to be a DS or you're not playing. So work on that. So I think just being flexible and adaptable, but also go towards kind of what you want to do. Just kind of think about what you want in a volleyball program and go after that. Don't change what you want to do just to fit one. But be open to change as well. I think I just contradicted myself multiple times, but yeah, it really honestly just depends on what the student athlete wants in a program. So
what advice would you give those players looking to go play professionally after their playing career, whether it's athletes unlimited or overseas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't had many, if any, really go. We've had some invitations to go to some camps overseas. So take advantage of those opportunities. If you want to do it, there are ways to do it. We've actually had some other student athletes in different sports go play overseas. So definitely talk with coaches, because they should have connections. They should have people reaching out to them. Do your research if that's something that you want to do, but know that you also have help in terms of getting there. So if that's something that they have their sights on, definitely look into it. And then, besides that, you should already be in the gym, out of the gym, working your butt off to get there. So if that's something that student athletes want to do, and they have the willpower and the determination to do that, absolutely do it. So, yeah.
What advice would you give those players looking to get into coaching after their playing career like you have?
To do it. If that's something that they want to do, they absolutely should do it. And especially, starting as a player, if you get started on that a little bit sooner. Like I said, I started as a head coach at DG Warriors, which I think, or DG Serve, and DG Warriors. So I started that when I was a student athlete, and I think that was super beneficial. And even my time when I was injured, I'm not advising people to get injured by any means, but even my time being injured, being on the bench and kind of hearing that side of things. So if students really want to, or if student athletes really want to be a coach, definitely start asking questions about, ask your coach questions about, how this process goes, what happens behind the scenes, all that stuff, shadow, intern, And that makes it easier once they graduate to find those coaching opportunities. There are tons of camps over the summer too to help out with. So I know a lot of different schools will host their camps. So get in on those, see what level you like. Because I know they start with the little kiddos and then they increase it up to high school age when it comes to camps. So definitely just dive into it and ask questions and see if that's really where they want to go, and then just embrace it and start. So like I said, there's a lot of clubs kind of around our area, so we're really lucky. So in terms of that, they can do that as a student athlete. If they want to start coaching, they can do that right away.
What advice would you give those coaches looking to coach at their alma mater like you have?
Ooh, it can be challenging, especially if you start coaching right after you graduate, because those are people that you've played with. So if you've built good relationships with them, if you've lived on campus with them, there's going to be an adjustment, and you really have to set boundaries when it comes to that. But I don't, you can be passionate about places that you didn't go to school at, but I just feel like there's another added layer of passion when it comes to coaching at your alma mater. And you really, really want to make sure that that program is successful. So making sure that, you're doing the work to help that as well. And do it. I love coaching at my alma mater, but know that there is going to be adjustments, whether that's, like I said, right out of graduating, or if it's so many years down the road. Things change with different programs, but yeah, also try to make it your own as well. So, standing by the tradition of that program, and hopefully it's success, and then kind of, making it your own as well.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the Hiram College volleyball program?
Where can they find us on social media? So I know we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, for both the men's and the women's team. You can also, our Hiram College athletics website, that has our schedule, roster, all of that, for student athletes who are looking to be recruited. We are on field level, NCSA, sports recruits, all of those. We try to get out as best as we can, but if people need to contact us, if they need to reach out to us, our emails and everything are on the website. So
thank you again, Coach Holly Hoffman, for your interview, and best of luck in your future at Hiram College. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Awesome. Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.